Welcome to the 2010 KTM 450 SXF. Most of the changes KTM did for 2010 involved chassis changes to improve the handling and overall character of the bike. Up front, we have a fixed 22mm offset for 2010. The bottom of the clamp and the top of the clamp both feature some really impressive technology to keep the fork tube completely round under clamping pressure throughout the lifespan of the bike. It's a pretty cool setup up here. Continuing down the fork tube, the seals and the bushings have been redesigned this year with less stiction, offer freer movement. Because of that, the whole valving, compression valving on the fork has been beefed up a little bit for 2010. You might notice it looks a lot like the KTM kit brake out of the hard equipment catalog, or an SXS brake you might call it. It's a very factory front brake. KTM has an all new frame design for 2010. Basically, they took the head tube and raised it up 10mm. That essentially drops where the frame connects to the head tube down 10mm, along with the shock tower point. So if you draw a line between the head tube and the shock tower, there's more bend in the backbone of the frame this year. That KTM says that increases flex character and has the bike traveling in more of a straight line through all the bumps and action that's happening out back. You combine that with the 4mm lowered shock, and that really squats the whole bike down compared to where it was last year. It's a difference of about 10mm at the rear axle. Motor time. This is the 2010 KTM 450 SXF motor. There's a pretty big obvious difference in this general area right here. Not so much here, not so much here, but right here. This is a noise resonance chamber. This is a highway, direct quote, highway to reducing sound without sacrificing performance. They said if it had another tube coming off and connecting to the head pipe, it'd be more for a volume increase sort of a thing and a flow-through effect for more power or different power. But straight from KTM's lips, this is for sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-speed transmission this year, straight out of the XC line. 4-speed transmissions have graced the 450 SXF in the past, and they've worked pretty well. Although we think the 5-speed is going to add some versatility. We love the XC gearbox. I know a lot of professional racers run the XC gearbox stock on a lot of different bikes. So we're looking for that to be a good improvement in this model. You're probably wondering how all these changes work to make a better motocross bike. Well, lucky for you, we went out to Paris Raceway yesterday with Ryan Orr, super test rider, and rode the beans out of this thing.
Here with Dirt Rider on the new 2010 KTM 450 SXF. My first impression of the bike is the thing rips. It's so fast, easy to ride. The motor, super controllable. I like the new 5-speed transmission. It kind of makes the bike more versatile. Like it seemed like with the 4-speed, especially on a tighter track, the thing would just get away from you. Like it kind of lets the bike rev out a little bit quicker, but you can grab another gear and that lets it pull. I found that like with the tracking around flat track sweeping turns, last year's bike I had a little issue with the front end, kind of tucking under and going away. And now it's got a little bit of feedback and it tracks a little better, especially on acceleration around like flat track turns. Balance, it's got a really good balance this year. It feels like it settles in and it settles in evenly, especially coming into turns and through turns. Accelerating, like with acceleration bumps, I felt the bike tracks really, really well. If they get shiny, slippery, doesn't matter, throttle control as well as rear action, especially with the rear shock and the way it moves, it adds like a good confidence inspiring like acceleration. They added a factory style new front brake, which I didn't feel that it was too much of a difference. The KTM has great braking, like it's good stopping power, good control, everything anyways, but they added a new one. I didn't notice much difference. But KTM's brakes have always been really, really good and easy to use and lots of power. Overall, I'm really impressed with the bike. The feature that stood out most to me was the motor and the transmission. I really thought that it adapts well to, I think it will adapt well to every track, especially Paris, which is a little bit tighter track. And I was real impressed with the traction control and front end settling and having good feedback and control.